Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Let's Go Live show. This is Jane Gardner and welcome. Welcome. Today on today's show, we're going to be talking about OBS, which is Open Broadcast Studio at obsproject.com. It's an open source broadcasting software that is free that you are welcome to try out. It does look overwhelming. Last time we looked behind the scenes at the actual software, and I tried to simplify it a little. I might have to go over that recording again just to make sure. I think it still was overwhelming. So we are going to probably do another recording. But today we're going to look behind the scenes on the OBS Studio website to look at their guide and to the background for setting up your OBS Studio. So let's get started. We are going to be looking at broadcasting live streams, and we are doing this through XSplit. I'll be honest, it is easier for me because I've used it more often. It is a paid software, but considering the value you get for the software, it is well worth the nominal cost in comparison to some of the other broadcasting software. So let's go, and we are, I think right now, we were looking at OBS, and we're going to keep looking a little bit more at it to actually learn the best things to do for OBS. It's probably better to do a class, but we're going to just go behind the scenes and have a look. I'm Jane Gardner. I work with my husband in our structural engineering firm, and right now I'm doing this before the day starts. So welcome. And so we'll be talking fairly quickly before I go to work. But I do have, I forgot to change it. I say this every time. I now have six TV channels on Roku, and Amazon Fire has 5 because Amazon Fire doesn't let us get on there anymore unless we're a very expensive broadcasting channel. But I have 6 on Roku and more coming TV channels. So let's go, and we're talking about inside the Open Broadcast Studio. We will skip all the previous lecture and just leave it here, I think, as to we'll be looking at inside. So we had looked inside and did a recording, but today we're going to go look at their quick start guide, which is going to be useful. So here is the quick start guide on the OBS. Let's see where it is exactly. OBS projects, I believe. Yeah, obsproject.com. They have an overview guide. And if I can give you any tips on the settings, I will. They say they're fairly self-explanatory, but they can get kind of overwhelming. So we're going to look at things like basically in general, of course, you need to do your language and you need to do your theme. You can have dark. I do not like dark. I prefer light. And you can automatically check for updates on startup, which is always good because there's always a lot of bugs with this software. And it's always good to check updates before you start in case there's a certain bug that will not be able to, like for example, in my software, it won't let me change the name of the scene. And so anyway, they haven't fixed that bug yet. So there's always bugs, so it's always good to check out for any startup software. And then you can show your confirmation dialog when starting this stream. That's probably good. So you know. And what I do is I use my multi-streamer to show me that I've started. And you can automatically record when streaming, which is probably good as long as you have enough space on your computer. I might check to see if it can go up into the cloud. And you can keep recordings when the stream stops and automatically start a replay buffer when streaming, and keep the replay buffer active when stream stops. Those are some of the choices under output. And then on your source alignments snapping, you can enable it. So yeah, that would be hard to show you, but basically you don't want to get all your sources skipped over. And then projectors, that is something that is totally foreign to me, because I can't. First off, it's usually used for corporate offices, a projector, using it to show the screen, and streaming, etc. Projecting onto a screen is not one of these things that I do, but if you're into that, they all have the ability to, you can use a projector to stream. And of course you can have a system tray. We always need our system tray so we know what's happening. So then they have another dialog box called Stream, and you can select one of the included services to show the full list of drop down and see what custom streaming service you might need to use. So you can there's a variety of services you could put it into, and it's best to put it into one like YouTube, which is reliable, and of course use this server for YouTube. And of course we discussed Stream Key and Stream URL in one episode two times ago, I think it was. So you always need to get a Stream Key for the platform that you're going on to, and sometimes you also need the Stream URL. So for the output dialog box, this basically, it's where you have a simple output. And so the video bit rate is, you can usually use what they have as settings for that. Just check with your software. Same with the encoder hardware. And the audio bit rate, check that. And then where do you want to put your recordings? Have a path to where you can go find your recordings. And then what's the quality of your recording? You can use it same as Stream, or you can make it simpler. You usually don't recommend high quality. What's that, 240? Because of course it uses up a lot of bits. And of course the recording format can be MP4 or WAV, etc. And of course the custom mixer settings for those of you who are into mixers, so you can do that. And for audio can always be a bit tricky. It's a lot of basics, ideas about sampling for your audio. Basically all I do is just leave the settings as is and record, and then listen to the recordings, see if that's okay, and if not, what am I going to fix. Now this one has 2 desktop audio devices, and basically we will be talking about that next week, because I want to show you how to do an interview with someone else who comes in from Zoom, and how you have a window for each of you, or you can just go between scenes for you and your interviewee. So of course you need to have different audio sometimes, especially if they're being interviewed by you inside your studio and you have 2 microphones. It says up here you can pick up to 3 microphones, so that's pretty good. And if you're into all that audio stuff, and then of course you do some advanced stuff, and you can use hotkeys, which will help you to speed up doing what you're doing. And then you have to pick your video resolution, and it's how much space you have to fit your sources. You want to match your monitor display resolution, or if you're playing games, the game resolution. The default is your primary monitor. Oops, there we go. As you can see, it's fairly simple there, as long as you just keep the settings the way that they are. And of course, you do have to match your output FPS, which is files per second. No, I think it's something to do with, yeah. So 30 is usually the best to use FPS. 60 FPS can be very taxing on your system, especially if you don't have a very good Ethernet streaming bandwidth. So just make sure your system has enough resources. I find that 30 FPS is usually fine for any recordings that I do. So even though they put 60 here, I would change that back to 30. And you'll find out from looking at how much in the streaming there is and the outlay and stuff. They'll tell you whether or not you're streaming well. So for example, right now I'm streaming live, custom stream, no drop frames, total bits 205 megabytes, and basically it tells me how long I've been streaming. And then, of course, wonderful hotkeys you can set up so to make it easier for you to stream without having to click on scenes. And, of course, that's always fun. And then there's the advanced. Most of these should not be changed unless you understand exactly what you need to change. And, however, some settings can be useful for new streamers, such as changing the file name formatting. So just change the name of the file so you can find it. And basically activate stream delay if you wish, and automatic reconnect. Otherwise, don't touch anything else in advance unless you obviously know how to use it. So that's great advice, I think. That's for sure. And so there's about 5 or 6 dialog boxes that you have to go in and look at in OBS to make some settings changes. And I don't know if I'll do that live next time. Sometimes you can't see the dialog boxes when you record. But yeah, so I could maybe put up some of the standard settings so you could try those first before trying to change any of those settings. It can be screwed up completely. As I know, if you change it and think, oh, I'm going to do 60 FPS, and then it keeps dropping the frames. That's never good when it drops frames, because what it does is if it's dropping frames and it's too many frames, it'll just quit. So I had that happen a few weeks ago. Can't remember why. Oh, it was because I was uploading something at the same time. So another good piece of advice is always make sure you cancel or stop some of your software that's on your computer from doing whatever it wants to do during the time you're on. That would be the file backup, for example, as well as if you have something open that is using a lot of resources. Can't do much about the antivirus, but you can certainly stop the Carbonite or any other software that is going to upload to the internet and be used during this time, because you want the bandwidth for the Ethernet stream to be just used for this. So you have to always make sure that things are doing what they should be doing and keeping things simple. And of course, reboot your computer before you do all this, which I haven't done today. But so we'll go and tell you that I have got to make a stand and do my Let's Take Action show Saturdays at 8 a.m. So I may be doing that this week. So sign up here and I will send a link. I didn't send a link for today because I wasn't sure if I would do anything today because I hadn't got around to anything, recordings. But we did do something today of value. So get it at https://jane-gardner.com/live, and you can also get the 7 steps to produce your first show, and we will send out a link when we have Let's Take Action coming. So I better just send out that Zoom link real soon to my list, and also we may do a quick Thursday at 8 a.m. We may do a quick intro to AI talk show, which is Talk TV show, which I'm going to start on Thursdays. Now that we've gone over a lot of visibility, I thought we would talk about AI and how it is going to help you do everything simpler, quicker, and help you as an assistant in your business. And I don't have that slide today, but that's okay. If you're on my list, you'll find